Well, we've known all along that this would be a very difficult sectional because of the quality of teams in this grouping of schools. I'm sure that Warren Central and Cathedral today are looking at it even a little more challenging because of the path in front of them. Lawrence North hasn't played quite as well lately. If they get themselves regrouped, I mean, it'll be a terrific game. I think the team I'm looking at that maybe got a little bit of a break here is North Central, a good team, not quite as good as last year, but drawing Lawrence Central in the opener and then the winner of the Broad Ripple Arlington game, you'd have to think that North Central has a good chance to get to the final against whoever survives in that upper half.
Well, I agree with you. And you start with Sectional 9 with Carmel. They're playing so well right now. They've only lost one ball game. Hamilton Southeastern, the only other team in that sectional with a winning record. As we talk about Sectional 10, they are absolutely loaded. Another sectional that's very balanced is sectional number 11. Not a great number of gaudy records. Franklin Central are going to suffer through some suspensions to 3 starters, but Perry and Franklin Central, Center Grove, Southport, Whiteland all have winning records coming into this.
Yeah, I look at Southport in a good position with the bye there. Perry Meridian also in a pretty good position in that they beat Southport not too long ago in a township rivalry game. So that one's kind of a wide-open affair and will be really fun for the fans on the south side.
Brownsburg in sectional number 12, the host, are ranked 11th, a couple of outstanding individual talents. Manual playing well, Decatur Central doing all right, Pike and Indianapolis Tech. But you have to look at the host school, Brownsburg, with the season they've had to this point.
Brownsburg's probably the favorite, but Pike is capable. Manual's had a good year, and Tech's had a good year too.
In sectional number 13 at Martinsville, my beloved Quakers taking on Terre Haute South, game number 1. Quakers ranked 13th, Terre Haute South ranked number 12. We've talked about this what seems like at least a dozen times tonight. Two very good basketball teams playing one another in the first round. And, again, that's kind of what makes this so dramatic and so much fun.
Well, it's another example of two of the teams on paper who are of the best playing early. But Mooresville, they've had a good year, too, and they've got a couple of terrific players. So I'm sure they're going to look at an opportunity to maybe pull a surprise coming out of the lower half.
How about the matchup in sectional 14? Tuesday night they get started. Bloomington South and East Central. South ranked 4th, East Central 15th. And those are two pretty, East is playing well, Bloomington North playing well. Of the 5 teams, only one has a losing record, but I really like the Bloomington South East Central matchup Tuesday night.
Well, I got an opportunity to see Bloomington South in probably one of its poorer games, but you could still see the quality of the team. They moved the ball well. They just didn't hit shots the night I saw them when they lost to Brownsburg, but I'm sure they'll be prepared for playoff time, and it'll be interesting games.
I'm not sure right now who can beat New Albany. They're ranked number 1. They're playing awfully well in sectional number 15, and their match, they have the bye. They play Bedford North Lawrence. And how about sectional number 16? Every team in sectional 16 has a winning record, and that's, to my knowledge, the only one around the state. And to say that that's a balanced sectional would be the understatement. It took me until almost the end of the show to say understatement, something like that. But I love this sectional. I couldn't tell you who the favorite is.
Well, on paper, I'll go with Castle as a small favorite, but I think Evansville Wrights is a good team. Of course, they could play in the semifinal round. Evansville Harrison may have a slight edge in that it would be a favorite to get to the final and maybe take advantage of a draw situation.
We are through the pairings for the upcoming boys basketball tournament. Pat McKee and I will come back and have some final thoughts and look ahead to what we know is going to be an exciting tournament beginning on the week of February the 25th. You're listening to the Indiana High School Boys Basketball Tournament Pairing Show on the IHSAA Methodist Sports Medicine Championship Radio Network, brought to you in part by Methodist Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider of the IHSAA. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Bob Lovell, alongside Pat McKee. Pat, this is always an exciting. I know it's hokey, corny, whatever adjectives you want to use, but it's fun because you sit there and you wait to hear who you're going to play, and now the run for the tournament begins. And it's always difficult to handicap and look ahead. But give me some thoughts that you have about who we might be able to see at Conseco Fieldhouse coming up on March the 22nd.
Well, I'm sure the coaches are telling their kids don't look ahead, but we get the opportunity to do that.
Right.
So in single A, I would look at Triton and Lafayette Central Catholic as teams to watch for in the north, Jacksonville and Orleans as teams to possibly see in the south. In double A, I'd look for Westview, Fort Wayne Lures, Tipton, and Bluffton all as competitors out of the north. Winchester, Hauser, Evansville, Mater Dei, and Paoli as teams that could get there out of the South. When I go to 3A, I look at Plymouth and Northwestern and Harding as top contenders from the North. I look at Batesville, all of Sectional 26, Evansville, Memorial, Edgewood, and Washington as teams to look at from the South. And then in 4A, East Chicago, the defending champion, and Chesterton look strong, as well as Marion, Fort Wayne South, and Lafayette Jeff in the North. Carmel, Cathedral, Lawrence North, Brownsburg, New Albany, Bloomington South. We could probably go on a bit in the South, but there's a bunch of good teams. It's going to be a great tournament.
Well, it really is a great there are a lot of good teams. I think balance is one of the big things. I'm not sure there is the prohibitive favorite anywhere, which makes it so much fun. But again, it's one of the reasons why, and you talk about this as a cliche, it's kind of why they play them. It'll be a lot of fun. This is always fun. I appreciate working with you. It's great to see you, and I know you're going to be working very, very hard. Our thanks to the IHSAA, Commissioner Blake Ress and his staff for their hospitality and wonderful job that they've done. We could not do this type of a show and bring you this information without the great work of a great number of people. Ira Mayer, Rob Nichols, Celeste Ginnon, Amy Harper, Scott Johnston. Great job, as always, from all of our folks here with Emmis Communications and IHSAsports.org. And as you look ahead, you're going to be some great matchups. And also look ahead this weekend, IHSA state finals, boys swimming at 1 o'clock. You can also go to IHSAsports.org and check out the wrestling archives. And then team wrestling will be coming up this weekend. And look ahead, too, this weekend coming up with the girls semi-state action around the state. I'm Bob Lovell for Pat McKee. Thanks for joining us on the IHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament Pairing Show. Have a great week and have a great tournament.